Hi, everyone. I am your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Skeletons in your closet. Itching to come outside. Oh my goodness, as you guys can see from the title, what this video is going to be about. Yes, Miss Debra Lee. Miss Debra Lee, former CEO, owner of BT. Yeah, I'm kind of triggered, I guess, triggered by her some excerpts from her memoir. She put out a book about her affair relationship with Bob Johnson. And I'll go into a little later as to why I'm somewhat triggered. I just, I get victims of assault, victims of being manipulated and all of that. But sometimes we have to call a spade, you guys. Sometimes everyone is not a victim. And I'm a woman, and this is coming from myself, from me. Sometimes as women, we have to take accountability. Let's just keep it real and keep it honest, especially when those who have this aspiration to climb a certain ladder, whether it's a corporate ladder of entertainment, corporate ladder in the medical field, legal field. Let's be transparent and honest with ourselves when you start having dealings or relationships in-house. So yeah, Miss Debra Lee, skeletons in your closet. You know, that Stevie Wonder song comes to mind. But let me read some excerpts, and I might buy her book because I'm just there's so many questions. But the article I read in Yahoo News, online news, it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. And to me, in my opinion, based on what I read, it seems as if she's trying to claim a victim type of era moment that she had with Bob Johnson, because she was his subordinate basically when he was there at BET, when they both were there at the same time. So let me share my screen so I can go into this article. Yahoo News article. It was just posted today, March 10th. So yeah, I want to get into that article. And we're going to go over together some excerpts. I'm going to probably skip around, but no, I'm not buying it, Debra Lee. I'm not buying it. And I'm sure that she didn't have to share this, first and foremost, but it's a memoir. People want to get deep or tell their truths, so you can't get mad at that. Some things people may want to overshare in their memoir. But I guess. But yeah, in my opinion, she's no victim. She is no victim. Okay, as you can see, former BT CEO Debra Lee wants others to learn from her Me Too story. So she's claiming Me Too. She's definitely claiming Me Too. It's just, let me go into some excerpts of this article. Again, this is on Yahoo News, Yahoo Life. My story is different. Debra Lee had a pit in her stomach as Black Entertainment Television CEO Bob Johnson delivered a toast to her, his right hand, and COO, that's Chief Officer of Operations. I think that's it. That's what that acronym stands for. At a lavish birthday party back in 2004. It was his way of publicly confirming that they were romantically involved as rumors swirled about their relationship. This wasn't what I wanted, she remembers thinking. In her new memoir, I Am Debra Lee, Lee shares her journey breaking into the media industry as general counsel of BET, getting promoted to COO and holding on to the seat through a workplace relationship with Johnson that she calls poisonous. Okay, she was general counsel, meaning she's an attorney, you guys. Debra Lee is an attorney. So she was general counsel for BET, but she wanted to climb that corporate ladder in-house and wanted to be, I guess, more than just a general counsel and an attorney. So according to this article, Debra Lee is citing that the relationship became poisonous. It took until the groundswell of Me Too in 2017 and the Time's Up movement for Lee to understand that her relationship with Johnson was inherently problematic. Okay, that's very fair to say that. Couldn't it be problematic for both? Or is she speaking for her from her point of view? Let me continue. You be the judge of that. Some men are, much more obvious about it. That's one reason I wanted to tell the story, she told me in an interview. I wanted to say, okay, my story is different, but I still ended up in a relationship that was partly harassment and partly abuse, and the relationship became tied to my career. Whew, okay. Johnson was Lee's sponsor and mentor early on. Whenever anyone asks how I eventually made the transition from lawyer to CEO, the answer is Bob and money. She writes, describing the feat of taking BET public. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a moment. So let's marinate and sit on that for a minute. Marinate and sit on that for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and read some more too while you guys are marinating all of this. Johnson was Lee's sponsor and mentor early on. Whenever anyone asks how I eventually made it, like she said, because of Bob and his money. Bob Johnson promoted her from general counsel to COO in 1995, elevating her to be the next in line to take over the company. Facing that self-doubt, Lee clung to the fact that she had been promoted before his advance. So before he even made an advance, she was promoted. She rationalized the encounter as a consequential at the time, but looking back, she understands the professional power dynamics at play made the situation more complicated. But you are an adult, and this is my opinion and commentary on this. You're an adult. I mean, you are an attorney. You came in there as general counsel. Being an attorney is a good career. Could have went in other sectors if you felt that he was inappropriate in any way, shape, or form, but you went along for the ride. And why? And why? Okay. The article further cites, whether or not I gave voice to this concern back then, there's no denying that turning down Bob would have affected my career. The man had just offered me the keys to the kingdom. If I rejected his advances, would I suffer for it? She writes. I knew that my place in the corporate world as a Black female COO was once in a lifetime opportunity. Okay, the relationship started out with fancy dinners, on business trips, and escape from their lives at home, but over time it turned toxic. If she walked away from a fight, he would barge into her house or hotel room, Lee says. At times, their arguments turned physical, she writes in the book. No, that sucks. That's not good. A person who picked up the phone at Johnson's office said, we have to comment on the allegations. Fortune's other calls and emails for comment were unanswered. Lee knew she needed to get out of the relationship, but leaving Johnson would mean leaving a company she had worked so hard to build. She said that she tried to break off the romantic relationship with Johnson. He told her she would have to resign. She stayed, and when Johnson's contract expired in 2005, she was named CEO. She held the job for 13 years, helped bring BET into a new era. She defined the company's values as family, community, and uplift. She counseled the raunchy late night program, Uncut, on BET Uncut. She cut all of that. Lee's story embodies a common struggle among alleged victims of workplace abuse. They feel trapped, being forced to choose between their career and their well-being. But okay, there was something else, you guys, too, and I'm gonna go to Google because I heard this, I think, on a radio about they both were married, and of course, as you can see, it was the relationship was consensual, but as she stated in this article per Yahoo, the relationship was she was promoted before he even made any advances. But in her mind, based off of what I'm reading, the excerpts from the article, and hey, I think I want to go ahead and get the book. And I actually was having a conversation with someone via text digitally about this because I'm just not buying a victim part of it. I'm just not. I'm not. We see it every day. Over the past years, workplace situations, whatever sector you're in. Buy, just leave. If you feel, it's no, I'm not buying it. Let me see, Debra Lee. I'm not buying a victim. I'm not buying a Me Too. I'm not, because sometimes as women, we know what it is, and let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real and honest. We know what it is. This may be unpopular to people, and I'm a woman. So if this video is not for you, okay, fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But I'm not buying the Me Too era for Miss Debra Lee. She was general counsel for BET. That's, to me, a high regarded position for entertainment company. You're general counsel. But she wanted more herself based on what I'm reading. I actually want to kind of buy the book to really get into the meat and the grit of it. Because context means everything. With Bob Johnson, both married. Yeah, I was listening to our iHeart the other day, and there was another article. Someone's reading from another article, and these are just excerpts, you guys. Excerpts from these articles, and again, someone else is telling the story. So that's why I said I think I want to go ahead and purchase her book, just so I can read it from my point of view, my thought process. Because like I stated in that Yahoo article, she basically said that he promoted her before any advances. So did he promote her for just simply her work? Did she, I just have to, maybe this is it for people to read the book. Okay, this is USA Today. What are they saying about this? Former BET CEO Debra Lee is speaking at workplace harassment throughout her career. America alleged the alleged affair and subsequent retaliation she faced. So was it a consensual affair? Based off of what I'm reading, it seemed like the affair was consensual. I wanted to tell this story because power dynamics are so important in a relationship, especially if you're having a relationship with someone you work with. So this sounds like she was for the relationship. We all know the pitfalls, the potential pitfalls, she said. Yeah. So you were on board. And then things got too deep. So you wanted out for whatever reason. Like I said, I think I might buy the book, but I'm not buying that she's a victim. She wanted to climb that entertainment ladder, pun intended. I worked for Bob Johnson for 10 years. This is USA Today article excerpt. I worked for Bob Johnson for 10 years before we had a personal romantic relationship. She worked for him for 10 years. He was a mentor, and he pushed me, and he was responsible for a lot of my success. Man, Me Too, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, you're just as a participant as he was, but things seems to have escalated between you guys. Let me share my screen, you guys. It's USA Today, this article. This is my thought process of it, you guys. This is my thought process of it. X out of this. This is Debra Lee, her quote. I'm highlighting this. I wanted to tell that story because power dynamics are so important in a relationship, especially if you're having a relationship with someone you work for. We all know the potential pitfalls, she said. I worked for Bob Johnson for 10 years before we had a personal romantic relationship. So she was vested in a company for 10 years. She could have went elsewhere. She could have took her credentials and went elsewhere prior to things escalating. He was a mentor and he pushed me and he was responsible for a lot of my success. Again, this is from USA Today. What? Okay. Time's Up ceases operation, refocuses on legal defense funds for sexual harassment victims. Lee alleged the affair started when they were both married and continued after they divorced. Oh my gosh. At that point, people knew about the relationship. The company knew. We started going places together. Man, okay. So you guys, this article and a Yahoo article is what I read from, and these are excerpts again. Go ahead and read the articles for yourself, develop your own opinion or whatever, but this is my opinion from the mix. And also like, share, subscribe, hit the like. Let's get the likes up, likes up in this video. Let's get the likes up. But yeah, so I'm not buying this Me Too and victim, alleged victim. She was at an organization working for an entertainment company for 10 years before anything romantic happened. So it seems like it was really business. Now, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. Could he have been preying on her mentally and going in for the, I don't know. I don't know. Possibly so, or possibly not. I don't know. I actually, I might buy her book, you guys, because I just want to know. I want to know if she's going to be very transparent. Because what I have a problem is accountability on all parts. Accountability on all parts. See, people don't want to deal with accountability. I'm a female, and sometimes as females, we'll lie. I've been there. I'm going to lie, and pretend and be delusional in my own brain and flip it. Come on, Debra Lee. You wanted to climb that corporate ladder in the entertainment industry, going from general counsel. You wanted to be more than that. That was your career aspirations, and nothing's wrong with that. Let's just be honest, ladies. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's a transaction. Everybody winning. The parties involved. Come on now, it's a transaction. It's okay. But to be honest, I just really thought Debra Lee was just different. I looked at her in kind of like a high regard. I did back then. I had no idea that, and not to say that put people on a pedestal, but I just never would have expected that from her. Having an affair with someone knowingly, you both are married. And I'm not saying, sitting up here saying like I'm perfect, but I'm just surprised that she would operate like that. She just didn't seem to strike me to be that type of person. That's all. And I had a discussion with someone today digitally. Let me get back to that. had a discussion with someone digitally, and they basically was saying that they didn't see it that way from that point of view. I took it as, you know, and I'm going to share some excerpts from my digital conversation. I hope this person doesn't mind me sharing with you guys. Okay. And then also go to my short section, you guys. You'll see some videos I posted with Stevie Wonder music and also Eddie Murphy in the background, what women do. I mean, it's true. Women and men, we both do it. Let's just be honest. Do maybe one do it more than the other? Infidelity and all of that? Possibly so. Yeah, my point was initially was like, hey, did you see what's going on with Debra Lee from BET? You know, the book that she's writing about her affair, et cetera, with Bob Johnson. This person basically was like, hey, they both cheated on their husband and wife, but I felt her. She said after she got the divorce, he and Bob wasn't working out. She and Bob wasn't working out. She told him that she wanted to leave, and he told her basically to go, but leave everything, whatever. And that's similar to what the article is stating, but they actually, according to the article, Yahoo, and according to USA Today, the article states Debra Lee actually was working there for 10 years before anything romantically popped off. She was promoted by Bob Johnson before anything romantically, even the inkling of that began. So after 10 years, while they were both married, they started having an affair. Then eventually, after they got divorced, they went public. That's the timeline I'm looking at. And things wasn't working out. For whatever reason, she wanted out of the personal relationship. The you're my man, I'm your woman relationship. She wanted out. And he's like, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's dangling a carrot over her head. So what do you expect? Is it right? Absolutely not. But look how it all began. You signed up for that, sweetie. In my opinion. This is my opinion. This may be unpopular to people. You signed up for it, sweetie. So you're no victim. This is no Me Too. You signed up for it. So I'm not buying it. So she ended up, based off of the articles, the other articles I read and what I've heard on the radio, iHeartRadio, she basically ended up staying because she was a single mom, because she's no longer married. And that was her life. And she felt, that he would make it difficult actually for her post that, leaving BET, which I'm sure he probably would have. But you all are romantically, he caught feelings too. He caught feelings too. Both of you, like, come on now, two adults. And then let's not get it twisted. It's power dynamics when it comes to women in certain positions. And the men are subordinates. Let's keep it real. And how females retaliate as well. Is it right? Absolutely not. Me Too can be applied on the flip side as well. In the true Me Too situation. A true one. Let's keep it real. A true one. Because I don't believe this is a true one. And this is just my opinion. Maybe unpopular, but I don't believe it's a true Me Too alleged victim situation. I believe these are two consenting adults. They went from regular employee boss type of situation 10 years later, all screwing and in love while they both were married, and it was consensual. Then they both ended up getting a divorce and went public. Things started to whatever. So they had a relationship. Now, did they have an abusive relationship? Probably so. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. Is it right? No. But let's just be transparent here. That's what the abuse came from, that they had a relationship and they was working together. It's just like a husband and wife start a business together. doctor's office, attorney's office, both of them legal professionals. Quite sure they have issues personally and professionally because they have their business together, or entrepreneurs. Like what? I'm not condoning violence. I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying none of that abuse, no type of abuse, emotional, physical, none of that. But I'm just saying the world is not perfect, and that's what happens. So I view Bob Johnson and Debra Lee in that type of situation. They kind of built BET together in a sense. You know? But he eventually left. And that's when she was able to take over completely because BET got bought out. But before that, he's like, okay, you can go ahead and leave. But you leave everything here. The dude got feeling. Y'all was in a relationship. Shoot. It's like almost like a marriage. So what would you expect? Debra Lee, you are no victim. And again, this may be unpopular to people, and I can care less. You are no victim, Debra Lee. You are no victim. And like I said, I had a digital conversation, and the person like, well, I don't blame her for staying because that's her life. Hey, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that she's not a victim. Own your ish. Do you, boo? Own it. Own your ish, Debra Lee. We grown. We grown, as they say. We're grown. We're adults. There was opportunity for Debra Lee, and that's what she saw as well, in my opinion. Based off of the excerpts, based off of the information I read and listened to. Like I said, I really believe I'm going to buy her book. I think I'm going to buy her book tonight. I need to read a book this year. I keep saying every year I'm gonna read more, and I want to read a whole book because I do like stories and all of that. But I've gotten away from print books and paper. So although I know I can do audio and all of that stuff and visual, whatever, but I prefer a book, a solid book to read. Nevertheless, I digress. So yeah. And like I said, I really thought Debra Lee, she was the truth. I did. And I'm not saying I'm putting her on a pedestal, this and that, like, oh, she could never, no one is perfect. None of that. I just never thought she would be that type of person, that girl, that gal. So let me know, do you all believe they both like used each other? Do you believe that? Was it transactional relationship? Meaning, although Bob may have saw the brains and the beauty and the intellect and the tenacity and the skills in Debra Lee, he could have possibly just, used that as a catalyst to bait her in. Or did he really respect her intelligence? And I believe he did. And I believe it just took a life of his own between them because they worked together every day and all of that. They probably had a lot in common, business-wise. Do you believe Debra Lee did not understand at the time when she chose to have a sexual relationship with Bob Johnson? And vice versa, he chose to have a sexual relationship with her. Do you believe she did not understand what was happening and where that could have taken her career? She's saying she didn't understand that at the time, the power dynamics. That's cap. Cap. BS cap, as they say, the young people say. She made the decision to have an affair with Bob Johnson. Power dynamics, my bleep. And in my opinion, she is not a victim. Meaning this is not one of those, to me, in my opinion, a possible Me Too situation. So I'm calling cap on Debra Lee from BET, former CEO of BET. Calling cap. She knew doggone well she was promoted, seemed like fairly, 10 years prior to even getting into a serious relationship with him. So it just seems like, it was really professional at first, and they really they were well respected with one another in their space and this and that. I don't know what happened. Like I said, I think I just need to get the book. to see what happened. Whereas, how did they begin to be, you know, relationship wise, actual? How? How did it get to that point? Was it mutual flirting back and forth? Did you think like, hey, this is not going to go anywhere? Okay, she said, what? If I would have rejected him, I would have. You hadn't even went to that whole new next level yet. Or did you see that as an opportunity to get to the next level, the alleged advances, if he initiated that, or if it was mutual? Let's keep it real, women, ladies. Let's keep it real. Some of us, come on now. Some, I'm not saying all, some. I just call cap on this. I do. I call cap. I don't believe she was a victim of nothing. What I do believe, she was in a full-blown relationship. She committed, she had an affair with a married man, and vice versa. The married man had an affair with her. And they was in a full-blown relationship, having relationship problems. Will it be verbal, emotional, mental, or physical? Not to say that's good and healthy. No, absolutely not. But sometimes that comes with relationships. So that's what I believe. I don't think it has anything to do with power dynamics. I don't. Not at all. So yeah, you guys, you see my title up there about Miss Debra Lee. And like I say, skeletons in your closet, itching to come outside. A little bit of this Stevie Wonder, So let's be real. Some women, some females, we know we plot too. We see I ain't gonna say plot. Let me be politically correct for those who I might offend. We see opportunity. We see opportunity, and we evaluate and we execute. Let me get cute and pretty with it. We see opportunity, we evaluate the situation, and we execute. We do. And vice versa. So I'm just not understanding why Debra Lee felt the need to put this in a book. And I think around all that Me Too stuff or whatever, this was brought up then too. But money, money, money. She's gonna sell some books, y'all. I might be one of her customers because I want to know how far did this go? How did it all begin? Details, lady, details, because these little articles only giving excerpts. I got a lot of questions: who, what, when, where, and why. So yeah, let's get the discussion going. I know this may be unpopular opinion to some, most, not if not all. Oh well, keep it moving. I'm unapologetically me on this, and this is how I feel. This is my views, my opinions, and commentary based on what I read, my thought process. Like I said, just, if granted, she didn't want to leave under those conditions when he basically threatened her career, her livelihood. But let's keep it real, mama. You seen opportunity as well. You knew he was in that position. You knew he was in them rooms, them boardrooms around them power players, connecting here and there, globally, not just domestically, globally, in very different sectors. So you went up just like that. You could have just remained in a general counsel position or went into another industry. It was plenty of women back then, as I can recall, used to chase that corporate ladder. I've heard women saying they chasing the corporate ladder. Black women too. Corporate ladder. They trying to get to that next level. CEO, COO, owner. You know what I'm saying? They the boss. But at what expense? Are you chasing it? At what expense? What would you do to get there? Would you just rely strictly on your intelligence, your intellect, your negotiation skills, your people skills? Well, would you add a little sauce to it to get to where where you want to get to? Let's keep it real here. This is the mix. Like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe to my channel. Like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment. So yeah, let's get the discussion going on my channel. If you want to donate to the mix for content creation enhancement of my channel, go ahead, go to my Zelle. You can Zelle me at tplegal30@gmail.com, tplegal30@gmail.com, or cash at me at $THEMIXX30. All donations are welcome, accepted, appreciated, and will go to my channel for content enhancements and more creation. But yeah, drop a comment, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. Debra Lee, I'm calling Cap. Just say, you know what your intentions were, mama. Just say it. But I don't call you a victim. I call you Cap. Just say where you want to go in life. And it's okay. It's okay if that's how you did what you did to get to where you at. Own that. Own it. Own it. But what you're not gonna do is disguise this as the power dynamics. And like I said before, you guys, true power dynamics can be flipped. Can be flipped. Then she had a nerve to cut BET Uncut. Girl, you just had a whole affair. Okay. Whole affair. You want to cut you want to, I guess you know what? Okay, people change. Let me stop. People do change and evolve. So maybe that was her changing and evolving, character and direction after Bob Johnson left BET and it was sold and she took over. So she just turned over a new leaf and decided, to go in a different direction. So no judgment here, no judgment here. So yeah, like, share, subscribe to my channel. You guys, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning into the mix. I will talk to you guys soon. Like, comment, like. Let's get the discussion going in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on Miss Debra Lee. Also, will you be purchasing her book just to get more details? Because we just can't always go off of these articles and excerpts from these interviews. It's more in a book, and I think that's what she's probably doing, getting us talking to get the book. So I may be helping her financially and getting the book as well. But yeah, I just had to add my 2 cents, my thoughts on this, my commentary, my opinion, because I'm calling it Cap. She knew she wanted to climb that corporate ladder, pun intended, if you get my drill. She knew going into making that decision, and she could have easily choose door number 1 or door number 2. She was general counsel. She hadn't elevated yet, based off of what I read in those articles. She hadn't truly elevated. She got promoted, but she hadn't truly elevated. She could have bowed out gracefully and took her talents elsewhere. But like, share, subscribe to my channel, The Mix. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.